The Guardians. 16-6 to start the season for them. They're hitting the ball pretty well. Stephen Kwan is apparently the best batter of all time, to step aside Babe Ruth. And um yeah, I mean Stephen Vogt coming in. Vogt, I forget how to say his name, but Stephen Vogt comes in and he has done a phenomenal job over there in Cleveland, just absolutely tearing it up. Will, I'll go to you first, my man. I know you're having a tough time right now, but what can you say about those Cleveland Guardians?
Good for you, Sportos.
You're giving me nothing to work with. Nothing.
It's April.
All
It
right, well,
doesn't
this is
matter.
what you got to work with. They're hitting well above expectations. Their pitching is doing really good. They've only played 5 games against teams in their division so far. 3 of them were against the White Sox, so they're 4-1. They want to keep this up. Just keep beating the teams in your division because that apparently seems to be the road to success to win the AL Central.
Hey, we talked about how important that was going to be for the Tigers, and this is a division now where it is going to be close. I think the Royals, I don't know, are they going to be a team that sticks around? I think the Tigers are going to. I think the Twins are going to bounce back. So for the Guardians, you have to beat your division, and again, right now they're doing a pretty good job altogether. Obviously, on the year, you look at the teams they played; it's not anything crazy. Like you had a 4-game set with Oakland, you had a 3-game set with the White Sox. So right there in just 7 games, you're playing some pretty bad teams. Although Oakland has been playing better than people have thought, so I'll give them that. But they had Seattle
100%
early
because
in
of
the
Mason
year.
Miller.
Okay, you guys said that at the same time. Yeah, I mean Seattle, we're struggling, so it is interesting with them. But again, they are hitting really well right now. I think they're also coming up clutch a lot of the times. Like they had a series against the Yankees where they were getting those timely hits. John, what is your outlook right now for the Guardians after such a hot start?
So right now, I mean, obviously, I did not pick them to win their division by any stretch of the imagination. I still don't think that they're going to. Honestly, I am leaning towards Tyler's answer here
Oh
with
yeah,
the Tigers.
get on board,
So
baby.
I'm that they're just a fun team to watch. Anyway,
Yes, they are.
point is when it comes to the Guardians, their team that like as a team they are first or not first. There we go, third in batting average in the American League. Their slugging percentage they are second. On base percentage they are fourth. They're not walking a lot, but they're getting timely hits. They're third in hits, first in doubles, third in triples, and fifth in home runs, and first in overall runs scored. I think you said it. I think you said it best. Timely hitting is what is helping this offense and helping this team. Um, honestly, they're just playing. They're tearing the cover off the ball. It could be who they've played. But I can tell you right now, after watching the Red Sox series, that they played up in Fenway, it was a lot of timely hitting, and it was coming in extra innings. It was coming in late, like an eighth or the ninth inning. They only lost one of those games, I believe. Out of I think it was a 4-game set. So when it comes down to it, the Guardians are playing some good baseball right now, and I don't know how this season will turn out for them. Who knows if they can keep this up? Who knows what will happen when they face real competition here? But or at least consistently, I should say. But you know, their division between the Royals and the Tigers, they have two young and very with with lack of a better word, feisty teams that they're going to have to compete with here. And then maybe the Twins can turn around. The White Sox are on pace for the worst record in baseball, so you know whatever. Anyway, but yeah, when it comes to the AL Central, it will be interesting. It might not be the Comedy Central this year, but we'll have to
I
see.
I was just gonna say that because I got flamed last week for, "Oh, they're a fun division." Well, it's the Comedy Central. This division has actually legitimately been fun to watch. I don't know why, but there's just some fun teams. The stat that kinda gets me is the slugging percentage being as high as it is for them, being 5th in the league, because we had talked about that last year for them, is they were not hitting home runs. Their slugging percentage and their OPS, I believe, was, like, bottom 5 in the league, and that was a big problem for them. And they really didn't change that much, um, their lineup wise. Like, so it is a bit surprising to see where they're at. And I think, as Will said, maybe that's where the numbers come down because it's going to be really hard to sustain for them. But I mean, you have Josh Naylor right now who's been unbelievable. And he's really carrying that. Like, he's at a 623 slugging percentage himself, and maybe that's bringing it up. But like, even Stephen Kwan, who's not, he was kind of like, oh, a singles machine and just get on base guy. Like, he's doing it at 474. Um, it's kind of crazy. And the other thing that's very interesting to me is they're they're winning games with their best player, Jose Ramirez. Like, he's been okay, he's been average, but you'd expect at some point he's going to turn it up. And that to me is the scary part about this Cleveland team. Like, are these numbers going to come down a little bit? I understand that, but I think other players are going to start to pick it up as well. And I personally think like they could continue to play some pretty good baseball here and maybe get themselves in good position. And in this division, anything can really happen. So I wouldn't put it out of the question for them to win this division. It's April 22nd. I understand that. I'm kind of already tired of saying, "Oh, it's early." I know it's early. It's so overstated though. But I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, what is your thoughts on that? Because, like, again, to me, it's just scary to think that this team could get better potentially.
You got to credit Josh Naylor for being the fill in Jose Ramirez at the moment, the way he's putting up offensive numbers. No, I mean, the Guardians team they're kind of an unpredictable team when it comes to making early season predictions. 2 years ago, did they actually win the division 2 years ago? Or did they just make it into the playoffs?
Yes,
Either way, they had
Yeah,
around 90 wins, which I don't think anyone really
they won the
expected.
division.
And then last year, they kind of vanished. So there's maybe they did figure out something. Maybe there's certain veterans that are taking that step up, that are filling in offensively for whatever struggles they had last year as a squad. Pitching staff, I think they're right at where some people could have predicted them to be. They had a lot of talent. Had some injury issues last year. Yes, they lost Bieber this year. Uh, but I still feel like they're able to fill in for him there. With the Twins struggling as much as they are, this division very early is up for grabs. The Guardians are just the team they're beating everyone. They've beaten some good teams, some bad teams. They're just going out there and playing good baseball.
it's playing. They're just about playing some good baseball out there. Their pitching has been really good too. Top 5 in ERA. So I think there's definitely an argument there to say, hey, man, look at this lineup. It doesn't come down there. Similar to what we're saying about the Astros. Look at that lineup. They have to turn it around. They have so much star power. Maybe that's the same thing with the Guardians, but I do think they have some sneaky good pieces that can continue to hit well for them. And if their pitching can stay on this plane, even if it dips a little bit, stay on this plane, that they can cause some teams some problems. But I mean, right now they're just absolutely killing it, right? Like, best record in
Best re-
baseball. And
yeah.
yeah, I mean, what else are you supposed to say about that? I mean, like, they are the best team right now, and it's just not expected. So we'll see if they can continue that because they have been just flying right now.